class 9. So today we'll be continuing with chapter number 4, that is atomic structure. So in our previous class we had discussed about the structure of an atom, where the main components were this proton, neutron and electron. And we had discussed about mass number, atomic number, as well as how to calculate the number of electrons, number of protons and number of neutrons in an atom. So today we will be discussing about there are certain points which governs how these electrons are distributed in an atom. So those points we are going to learn today. Okay? The first point is the maximum number of electrons in a particular cell is given by the formula 2n square. You have to remember this. It is given by the formula 2n square. Okay? Where n is either K cell, L cell, M cell or N cell, and it goes on like that. So for K the value is 1, K cell. Okay? The innermost, if there is only one cell in an atom, then that is K cell, and the value of N for K cell is 1. Similarly, if it is L cell, that is first the second cell, okay, which we have already discussed, then the value of N would be 2. Now let's move on to the second point. The electrons are filled in stepwise manner. So this rule is so important. You cannot fill the electrons in any cell according to disorder way. Okay? There is certain pattern in which these electrons are filled in particular cell. Now it always starts from filling the K cell, the innermost cell, then KL, then M, then it goes on like that. So K cell, the maximum capacity of K cell is 2 electrons. For L cell, the maximum capacity of holding the electron in L cell is how many? It is 8. And it goes on like that. Okay? So the second point tells us that electrons are filled in certain regular stepwise manner. Number 3, the outermost cell cannot accommodate more than 8 electrons. Now this is very important. Even though the first rule might give you more number of electrons in particular cell, but the third point is very important. And please go through it once again. The outermost cell cannot accommodate more than 8 electrons. So now according to your this syllabus and according to your label, this is true. This 8 electrons. Okay? So if it has more than 8 electrons, let me give you an example. Suppose say you have say potassium. This is the symbol for potassium, K, and its valency is not its valency, its atomic number is 90. Its atomic number is what? 90. Okay? So how the electrons are filled? 2 electrons are filled first in the K cell, then 8 electrons in the, this is K cell, this is L cell, then this is M cell, then now count the electron. 2, 8 is almost 10. 10 plus 8 is 80. Now how many more electrons are left? 1 more, because total 19 electrons are present. So the next cell will have 1 electron. So can you see that? The cell can have maximum of 8 electrons. Okay, and it cannot go beyond that. Please remember this. Please remember this one. Okay? This is true according to your class 9 level. Now as you go higher, the rule changes. But this is true for your level. 8 electrons in the valence cell, and this is how electrons are arranged in this potassium atom. Now the fourth point tells us that the outermost cell of a chemically stable atom has 8 electrons. Please remember, 8 electrons except hydrogen and helium. Now this you have to remember. Now if an atom is stable, chemically stable, then it has to have how many electrons? 8 electrons. Once it has 8 electrons in its outermost cell, that is its valence cell, then it becomes very, very stable. Okay? It becomes very stable. After that, it doesn't react. Now, there is an exception. Now, except hydrogen and helium. Now, this hydrogen and helium, they will be having duplet configuration. That is, if they have 2 electrons in its valence cell, then they become stable. That is according to this your first cell. See, this potassium, the first cell, the maximum capacity of first cell is how many? 2 electrons. So this exception of 2 electrons for hydrogen and helium, okay, you have to remember it. Otherwise, other elements will have 8 electrons. Once they have 8 electrons, then they become very, very stable. Hope these 4 points are clear. Now in your book you have more examples, so you can refer your book for more in detail understanding. Now let's discuss about structure of atom. So let's take structure of, let's try to include this 4 rules in obtaining the structure of certain elements. So first we are going to discuss about magnesium. So magnesium, what is the atomic number of magnesium? Atomic number of magnesium is 12. So now this 12 electrons, it has to be arranged according to the cell. So the first innermost cell will have maximum of 2 electrons. This is your K cell. Please don't forget. Okay, this is K cell. Now the next cell will have maximum of how many electrons? 8 electrons. So 2 plus 8 will be 10 electrons. Now in magnesium, this atomic number gives you the number of electrons. Here how many electrons are present? 12. Okay. So I have written 2, 8. So the next cell will have how many electrons? 12 minus addition of this 2, that is 10, is how many? 2. Therefore, last cell, which is the outermost cell for magnesium, will have how many electrons? 2 electrons. Okay, so this is K cell, this is your L cell, and this is your M cell. Okay, K, L, M cells. Now, let's draw the structure of magnesium. Here, at the center, you have protons and neutrons. Now the first cell will have how many electrons? How many electrons? 2 electrons. So this is K cell, this is K cell. The second one will have how many electrons? 8 electrons. So let me write the structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is which cell? This is L cell. And here you have M cell where it has 2 electrons. So M cell is the outermost cell in case of magnesium. So how many electrons does it have? It has 2 electrons. 1, say 2 electrons. So 1 and 2 electrons. And this is which cell? This is your M cell. This is how you draw the structure of what? Magnesium or any atom. You just need to know its atomic number. And I have asked you to learn the atomic number from hydrogen till calcium. That is in your syllabus, and you have to learn it. So from 1 to 20. And here at the center what you have? You have protons plus neutrons at the center, as we have discussed in our previous class. So at the center we have protons and neutrons, and these small circles are what? They are electrons, and they are present in the orbitals respectively. In K cell 2 electrons, in L cell you have 8 electrons, and M cell you have 2 electrons, and this is how you draw the structure of an atom. Now on page number 61, you have the structure of atom. From atomic number 1, that starts from say this is your hydrogen till calcium. So I request you all to draw the structure of all these atoms which are there on page number 61. Okay, please don't forget that, because here the questions will be asked from among this one, because these are this from atomic number 1 to 20 are there in your syllabus. So that is your home assignment. Please do it, draw it, and this is very easy. As we have done one example, similarly you will be doing it. Please, I request you not to simply copy it. Just first you write the electrons in this form, this electronic configuration, which is not given in your book. So you please write in this form, then you go for obtaining the structure of the respective atom. So this was for today. We'll be continuing in the next classes. Thank you. Take care.